Okay, Shakti, Namaste. My name's Kirk, and take a yoga breath, yoga stretch. We're going to talk about spring cleaning. My name's Kirk. I have a website at kirkspiritual.com. I'm a natural-born trance medium. I'm an initiated shamanic healer with a guaranteed over 5 near-death experiences. I tend to channel people's... I'm going to channel, and I'm the medium between you and your higher self and soul in a spiritual session, among other things. And I have over 300, almost 400 videos now throughout the web. You just type in Kirk Shaman, Kirk Spiritual, Kirk Spiritual New York City, and you can watch almost 400 hours of free spiritual content that I have put online over the last 10 years, and I've been working with people and clients over the last 25 years to study my craft, and I'm also a professional tarot reader and student, and in my house, the tarot cards are never far away, and I do professional readings as well, so you might, if you want to take it to the next step in any aspect of your life for clarity, for prosperity, give me a call. I do readings, phone to phone, or video cam. I'm a Mac guy, so FaceTime. I do FaceTime, Skyping, not Skyping. Skype has to rewrite their program because the last update they had will crash the Mac. So I can't, FaceTime is the best, and it costs 99 cents. And a lot of people have an iPhone, so you can also have a video session with me right over your iPhone if you get the FaceTime app. So I do readings in person, but only by referral in New York City. So if you're coming to New York, send me a letter. And, okay, let's take a deep breath. I know when, the higher energies or my spirit helpers want to speak to you and give you like a spiritual healing. So this is a free spiritual spring clearing healing for 2016, and if you are familiar with my basic YouTube channel, has the most videos, but I also have videos at Vimeo and Dailymotion, and I have social media profiles on Pinterest, Twitter. Let's see. If I can change the light in here a little bit. Yeah, this spring day is happening out there. So I'm going to give you your healing, and then I'm going to enjoy the day. I got my TV show tonight, which I've been doing. We're in our 11th year, free call-in, live cable TV and internet broadcast from New York City, Manhattan, every Monday, 11:30 p.m. Eastern, channel 1993, or live stream internet around the world, wherever there's a computer connection at mnn.org. Also, Spirit Channel, Channel 3, you can call in for a free healing. You can ask any question, and you can reach me in person at 212-245-7273. As of this date right now in May of 2016. So if you watch my videos, you know that on a daily basis, I pray and I meditate, and then I try to get the channeling, and then I come on and talk about the affirmations, contemplations, and meditations that I got in my spiritual practice. And then I pass them on to you as a loving service and a tithe of my energy and knowledge and wisdom and make myself available for in-person spiritual healing sessions. And I also do life coaching. So it's life coaching with a spiritual and metaphysical motivational bent to it. Okay. Gemini rules the mind, and I'm just starting to learn astrology. Like really, like trying to take my astrology zodiac knowledge to the next level, and for my clients. So I'm always expanding my awareness. I'm always learning more. And the more clients I have, and the more videos I make, and the more TV shows I do for you, for love, for light, for my own consciousness. You know, when you improve your consciousness, it improves everybody else's consciousness. And this is how we, you know, elevate each other. So when you get rid of your shadows, I get rid of my shadows. When I get rid of my shadows, it brings some light into your life, mind, body, and spirit. So, Shakti. I give out the Shakti. The divine feminine energy that creates the universe comes through me, Shakti. And what do we start out with? Okay, here's the Gemini rules the mind. So my first 3 houses of my astrology, and I'm learning to read my own chart and other people's. I have Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, and Gemini Mercury. Shakti. So Gemini is the mind. Gemini is the intelligence, and Gemini can break it down mentally and, you know, rule the mind. And, you know, when you come to me for a session, I can get it into like 3 words. Here's your focus. Here's your adjectives. Here's your affirmation. And I'm also a spiritual medium between you and your higher self. And I'm also an initiated shaman. And I've been reading motivational and inspirational literature since I was 10 years old. So basically, I'm, by the grace of God, you want the highest you can go in this lifetime. You are really doing what you were born to do. You're unlocked, unblocked, and unstuck. Shakti. And I specialize in people that are stuck, because I got stuck and I couldn't seem to step into my full power of like, what did you come here to do? I couldn't get the clarity. You know, there were so many shadows, and I didn't have the power, the passion, or the permission. So, you know, I was just like stuck, and I was just like, I was always studying, but I couldn't quite make the jump into, oh, I can do this. Oh, I am this. Oh, I can expand this. So I'm kind of living my germane, true purpose self. And I got to tell you, you know, to get rid of the internal conflict inside and have the inside match the outside match the inside, in my home, in my money, in my work, in my relationships, you know, the opposite of conflict is to be aligned. So when you come to me for a session, we're going to say, where's the conflict? That's what you came here to learn. If there's still a conflict in your late 30s, 40s, and 50s, 60s, then this is the thing. And you always save the hard stuff for last, you know, as like if it were a college course. Life's a college course. And the continuum of your soul is, you know, this evolvement through the zodiac, many hundreds of times, purification, greater power, greater strength, greater knowledge. You're building up all these things and these energies in a specific lifetime, this one, but also over the course and continuum of your soul. You know, you incarnate many times, one soul, many different bodies. So eventually, like, it gets stronger, clearer, more powerful. So if you were in college, you know, you start out as a freshman, and you're just kind of understanding the language, learning the language. And then when you get up to your master's or your PhD, it gets harder, but you have a foundation. So point being, if you're stuck, I'm stuck, then this is like your master's or your PhD. It's like, okay, you've been here before. You can't seem to understand it. You can't seem to get it broken down. I can't seem to... I'm just stuck in the conflict. I'm going to take you in the spiritual healing art session from the conflict to the focus of the alignment. So what do you want to align with? Okay, I'm aligned with creativity, inspiration, motivation, monetization of, what you do best. And, I think career and, when I do a standard tarot reading and people are like, what do you want to know about? I want to know about love and romance. I want to know about my career. So those are the basic things. You want to know about your career. Should I go here? Should I buy this? Should I open up this? Is this person trustworthy to start a business with? So those are the two basics in this lifetime. But I also have an expanded awareness of, let's just talk about what your soul wants versus when you get immersed into the material world and you're like, I'm chasing this, I'm chasing that, I'm chasing this, I want that. So if there's the conflict, then we have to kind of consult the soul first rather than like something I guess we'll call the ego. The ego wants fame and fortune and love and sex and awesome lovers and excitement and drama, comedy or tragedy, comedy or tragedy. That would be like the material self, the lower self, the bottom line self, or the ego self, with the id. The ego is like uber self-protective, and the id, according to Freudian technology terms, spiritual psychology, which is supposedly the psychologist is going to, psyche means soul, so the psychologist is supposedly healing your soul, but as we all know in this age of like hyper pharmacopoeia, drug everything and fucking run, that they don't heal the soul. They're just like injecting, painkiller into it and putting you on hold. So then people come to me and new age healers and alternative healers as opposed to a conventional psychiatrist, because their soul's not getting healed. Their soul's getting put on hold. But when the friction inside gets so intense, I'm stuck, I can't stand it. You bottom out on it, and then you have to shoot out of the loop of the insanity, the insane merry-go-round of your behavior and your thoughts. And, it creates this internal conflict, creates friction, which creates frustration and heat, and you just feel like you're dog paddling, and it becomes exhausting. So what you need is, there's a lot of bad healers, there's a lot of bad fako psychics, there's a lot of bad fako mediums, there's a lot of bad dentists, there's a lot of good dentists, there's a lot of great shaman, there's a lot of fake shaman, there's a lot of people say they're shamans, but they don't even know what a shaman is. So you have to educate yourself. There's a lot of bad psychiatrists, there's a lot of greedy psychiatrists, they're just predators, they're parasites. There's a lot of great psychotherapists. There's, I recently went back to therapy, as a grounding point for myself. I'm like also a Pisces rising. So you've got all this mutable Gemini, which is Mercury. It's always changing. And then I've got a Pisces rising. It's like I live in the ether, okay, just for you. But, to be grounded here and be like, Kirk, you need to do the dishes. You need to pay the rent. Oh, I do? So, I was trying to find a new healer for myself. And my vision was, how much time? 14. My vision was to find a shaman that's also a certified psychologist. That was my uber best. I talked to one lady. She was $250 an hour, and then the other one, another shaman lady that was also a therapist, psychologist, was $200 an hour, and they didn't take my insurance, but I found this one guy, and he's not a shaman, but, I've been in like 5 weeks, so, I don't know if he's the best of the best, but in the past I've had these really mediocre psychologists, and what I was really looking for was a healer and to be healed. So you have to shop around. The best time to, get a therapist conventional or, new age cutting edge is, ask around, ask friends, get a referral, but the best time is obviously not when you're in a trauma. And most people will end up seeking out, a healer or a therapist when they're like, uh-oh, I'm in a deep trauma. Something has happened. I can't process it. Once again, I have a conflict. I have frustration. I'm bottoming out. So then you need a third, second, third energy to come in and to stabilize you and assist and say, well, here's what I see. No matter who you are, you're the smartest person. If it's money, you're a billionaire. You're, doing this. You own this corporation. The captains of industry, what do they all have? They all have advisors. They all have advisors. Okay, so your success in the material world and in your spiritual, emotional, and mental life is going to depend on how well you choose your advisors. Okay, if you have bad advisors and they're not really sages and they don't know how to, break it down, they don't have that kind of experience, you're going to be wasting your time. A new life coach is going to be like, okay, let's do this exercise on paper. This is what I was taught in school. And then you have these like uber, cutting edge, quadruple threat type of people like me. Shaman, professional tarot reader, 25 years experience, initiated shaman, 5 near-death experiences. I've lived over 10 lifetimes in this lifetime. People tell me I'm an old soul. I've been reading spiritual and inspirational literature and trying to get the psychic technology for almost 30 years. I walked out of the womb saying, give me a self-help book to read. So then you get somebody like this. And, no shaman, healer, therapist, conventional or alternative is going to heal everything. Okay? You have to put in some work too. But I'm $200 an hour, and when somebody goes like $200 an hour, first of all, I live in Midtown Manhattan, right here behind me. In Midtown Manhattan, a cheeseburger and a soda is $30, okay? And then you have to put a tip on top of that. So, I've got a Manhattan overhead, but above and beyond that, over 25 years worth of study, I'm working on a PhD in like 4 different areas. But here's how you know that it's a good healer, a good therapist, or a good psychologist is they're saving you time. You're going in there, sitting in the chair saying, here's the situation, and then they give you a perspective. They break it down. Here's what I see. Here's what I think you're working on. Here's how you can heal it. So if they don't do that and you're just waiting around talking and nothing's happening and there's no catalyst, there's no transformation, you want to get out of the unstuckness. You don't want to live in conflict. You want to get out of the pain. And a lot of therapists medicate you, or they just don't know what they're doing. And there are bad healers out there. They're like, okay, well, so you have to interview these people. You have to go with your intuition, and you have to choose the best advisor for you. And so $200 an hour, well, if I save you 5 years of time reading books and listening to YouTube videos or going to stupid, therapists, they don't know what they're doing. They're just mediocre. Then yeah, $200 an hour, guess what? That $200 an hour just saved you 5 years or 10 years of trying to figure something out so you could release it, let go of it, and the point being, move forward, okay? Move forward on the issue. So we want to walk you out of the pain. And in the past, when I was in my 20s trying to clear out my psyche, get my soul healed, get a perspective on what my situation and life energy and dominant energy in my life is, they kind of just made the pain worse. It was like another secondary infection of the psychic, spiritual, emotional wound. They didn't say like, oh, you need an emotional intelligence, mad, sad, or glad. Okay, let's break it down. Thoughts, feelings, and actions. What's the thought? What's the feeling? What's the action? What's the old behavior? What's the new behavior? So, what do you want to align with? Out of the conflict into, here's what I'm aligning with. Then we get you an affirmation. We focus your mind, and we walk you out of the pain we walk you into a greater education of your mind, body, soul, spirit, and psyche. And your consciousness is not only expanded, but you are able to be much more effective. You're able to enjoy more. And, you want to enjoy your life, no matter how hard it is, even the good stuff. You want to get a consciousness of, I am blessed. I am blessed. Any life, people like, I want happiness. Okay, let's break that down. How much time do you spend in the energy of the thing you want? Because they say, you don't really attract what you want. You attract the vibration that you are. Uh-oh, whoops, okay, yeah, so think about that. So when a client comes to me for 1, 2, 3 healing art sessions or a block of life coaching, I want happiness. Okay, let's define the happiness just for you. Let's get you out of the pain, the fear, the doubt, the disease, but also get you to commit, choose and commit. What are the forms of happiness? Joy, flow, authenticity, openness. I feel like I'm not paying attention to myself. I don't feel subconscious all the time. Like, did I say the right thing? You're around people that love, honor, and support you. There's a free exchange of energy between you and your lovers, your coworkers. There's always going to be like a little issue or a little tension or a little insanity. I'm 30 years in recovery. Over 30 years in recovery and restored to sanity, yes, in this area, in that area, in the money, and the sex, in the material world, in my apartment, my connection to my dog. But, at some point during the 9-hour, 12-hour day, yep, it goes off the rails and I lose an hour to, going back into the trance, back into the coma of pain on this. That guy said this and fuck him. And so, before it was like all day was like that. So if all day is like that and you're drinking, you're medicating, you're in the coma of pain, you're stuck, you're bottoming out, then boom, kaboom, go to the bottom, get it over with. Don't kill yourself. Don't die. You don't have to drink. You don't have to use. So, that was 30 years ago. Point being, you're always going to have like a little insanity, which is like tension. The insanity is, another word for insanity is shadows, darkness. Back to the happiness. I want happiness, Kirk. We're going to get you the happiness. First of all, we're going to get examples of what is going to make you personally happy. And then we're going to get you to commit to a gratitude list. Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I just want happiness to show up and be here forever. It doesn't work that way. You've got like, you're an expanded soul. And, if you grew up in the 70s and 80s, you were kind of got the information that, we're these three-dimensional kind of lumps of moving flesh with no psyche, no soul, no spiritual life, no spirit coming, I'm having my feelings, but no emotional intelligence. And we know now from the internet and from seeing and mirroring and talking to people all over the world, and now we have this entire video diary of other people's lives, we can see this expanded continuum. So, the soul of humanity is expanding exponentially, which means you are. So, yeah, you need an emotional vocabulary inside. You need a spiritual vocabulary. You need a psychic vocabulary. Life is energy. There's always going to be an energy exchange. And there's always going to be a little tension. A little tension is actually kind of good. It spices it up. A little kind of drama. If you're all drama, then we're going to have to go in and find the trauma. Because drama is the clue to a trauma. Got that? One more time. Wherever there's a deep, deep trauma, the ego, lower self, the uneducated, unstreamlined, grounded self will create a drama to try and release the trauma. So we have to go back to the original trauma. Like if you guys saw Sybil or Ordinary People, these old, hokey, clunky, very heavy ideas about how you release things energetically. Symbols of multiple personality and all of these movies from the 70s and 80s, like you just wake up one day and you're mentally ill. Help! So it's causing this pain, fear, doubt, disease, and panic about like, well, one day she woke up and now she's a schizophrenic. It doesn't work that way. This is absolute, complete bullshit. Okay, it's bullshit. Okay, you want off the record, like 75% of psychology is total fucking bullshit. Okay, because they don't take into account, you've got multiple lives going on, incarnations going on. The first 40 years of your life is basically a review of your other lifetimes, where you're just kind of doing a mini review, clearing out and getting present in this body in this lifetime in, the year 1980, 1990, 2000. You're just really getting present, so they say life begins at 40. Well, there's probably a reason, because, up until that time, you were trying to get an orientation into who am I, what did I choose to learn, what are my basic core ideas, conflicts, what did I come here to do? And it takes a while to catch your breath. Now, if you have addict, alcoholic parents, or workaholic parents, or parents that were less than perfect, now you've got all these co-infection issue traumas. And then life happens. So, life happens and things happen that we can't quite have an eloquence or a perspective on when we're 10, 12, 14, 15, 16. We might be addicts ourselves. So now we take the original traumas, multiple sexual, psychic, religious, sexual, parental trauma dramas, and then we start medicating them, and then we run with it, and all hell breaks loose. So now you're in the trance of pain, the coma of pain. Now maybe you might create more traumas, compounded. So, yes, you need, like, somebody that's going to be able to, like, go, thoughts, feelings, and actions. Let's just keep it really simple. After, 30 years of, recovery from drug addiction, alcoholism, and compounded, repeated traumas in my own life, and clearing all this out, I can spot shit like in 2 minutes, The longer you deal with something, the simpler it gets, not more complicated. If you're in mid-process, I can spot that too, because mid-process is, I don't know whether to shit or go sailing, but I can get you, okay, you're mid-process, and every time you're in the middle of any process, the middle is the mess, okay? The beginning, you start out in humility. I don't know anything. I'm trying to learn this. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm willing to listen. So that's a great place to be, just like an open space inside, like, I'm open to your advisement. I'm open to your knowledge. I'm open to my higher spirits, the universe, Goddess, telling me things. And then when you get to the end, it's the hardest, but it's also, in a sense, the end is the beginning, is the end is the beginning, the snake eating its tail, as they say, the Uberus. So, you come up to 12 o'clock again on this issue, and you're like, ding, oh, God, it was so easy. Well, when you're at 6 o'clock here on the issue, it's a big mess. It's darkness. I don't know what the hell's going on. Even if, okay, let's bring it into the material world, 29 minutes. If you're in the material world, like say you're going to renovate your apartment or clean out a closet, this is like kind of like my spring clearing video. It's a big mess. First you look at it and you're like, oh God, it's overwhelming. I'll never be able to do this. And then you do it one piece at a time, one thing at a time. Okay, this I want to keep, this I want to get rid of. This is going to, the thrift store. This is going to my friend, so let me make the call, see if they want it. This is getting sold on eBay. So everything is all over the place, and it's just a big mess. And then all of a sudden, slowly, it starts to clear. It starts to get organized. It starts to make sense. It starts to get into perspective. And you come all the way to the top of the issue. And then you're like, wow, it's done. Mission accomplished. Okay, so the conflict is gone. The issue is cleared. The energy is cleared. So let me see if I kind of got most of the... This is like one of my favorite. I like cranberry juice and Perrier, but I also like apple juice and Perrier with ice. Kind of like watered down. So, no, it's not. Kind of looks like pee, right? No, it's Galliano. That was like one of my first drinks. Anyways, like Galliano and Coke. So, here we are. Here are my notes. We'll wrap it up. But first of all, let's take a breath. Take a deep, we're going to have a break. Shakti. Just clear your mind now, you know. The thing is, like, watch the video, then watch it again, then watch it again, then watch it again. You know, what you're trying to do is don't try to absorb, just allow. You know, don't be a sponge on the whole planet, but, you know, try to be the filter. Take what you like, leave the rest. You know, there is no absolute ultimate truth of the truth of the truth. The truth is you're blessed to have the experience of your life. Even trauma is exciting. Even the drama is exciting. You know, the joy's in the journey. I can't stand it when people say that. It just makes me want to kill myself. Like, I'm just like, I'm going to pull the trigger if somebody says that again. The joy is in the journey. No, it's not. I want my beach house. I want my lake house. I want my penthouse. I want my perfect young body and a big this and a big that. So the joy is in the journey. Well, okay, happiness. I want happiness, Kirk. Okay, spend time in the energy of happiness. Because what you're doing is, by saying, I want the happiness, you're really building an energy of misery. Okay? You're just going, oh, I don't have the happiness. So what are you building? What fire are you stoking? You're stoking the misery fire. You're like, I want happiness. Here comes a big misery fire getting bigger and bigger and bigger. When... in fact, and point of fact, you can come to me and I'm going to teach you how to make a little tiny fire of happiness and hope. And we're just going to stoke that every day. And we're going to stop feeding the misery fire. So the misery fire is going to go, you're going to get down. It's not getting any energy. It's not getting any oxygen. It's not getting any mental thoughts. Then we're going to go over here and we're going to stoke up the emotional energy fire of the energy you want to build up. Happiness, joy, authenticity, creativity. All the energies you want until this is your dominant energy. God, it took 30 minutes to get to, like, the first line here. Dominant energy. Manifest and materialize. So, you know, you want to manifest and materialize. What's your dominant energy? If your dominant energy is pain, your dominant energy is hopelessness, and you keep feeding the hopelessness, yeah, but it's there. No, you're not a victim. Yeah, it's there. You acknowledge it. But, you know, you've been stoking that fire and feeding that, building up that energy, maybe even over many lifetimes. Oh, now is the time for, you know, me to come in and go, we're going to build a new fire, okay? We're going to build a new fire. So don't let the pilot light go out because, you know, you're getting burned by this fire is out of control. It's just a matter of we're going to stoke this fire and create a new fire. And then basically this fire is going to go out. It's going to be a non-issue. It's, you know, there might be a scar from the trauma, the drama, the misery. And, you know, eventually, it's just going to be embers. That's the scar, the mental, emotional scar. But in the meantime, we built up this thing that you really want. So we're feeding this fire. So when, you know, in a life coaching sense, you come to me, I'm going to tell me what you desire. What would you like to obtain? I want more happiness. I want more flow. I don't want to be so self-conscious. Okay, so we're going to get you a spiritual practice. And that spiritual practice is feeding and building the fire over here, okay? Or, like, here's an oracle card. You know, abundance. Everybody's like, abundance. I want abundance. I want abundance. Yay, abundance. Okay, you want abundance. Abundance